bringing it back home to South Africa. I think South Africa used to be the poster boy of mining in Africa. What do we need to do to regain our status?
I do think South Africa still, where we are today, have got everything going for itself. We've got the commodities in the country, the precious metals, it's here. Gold, platinum, diamonds we're sitting with. We've got iron ore, we've got, there's copper here. All that we need to make sure of is that the political environment is stable enough for investments. We must make sure that labor, again, labor is stable. Clearly that means, what happens with the unions, etc. I think we all should realize we're all working towards wanting to build up the economy. Mining companies want to make profits for shareholders. Employees would want to make, obviously, enough salary to obviously look after, families and their living conditions, etc. All of this should be all in a very good balance, and the one goes hand in hand. So if we're all not working towards a sustainable future for both the mining company as well as for the employees around it, it's going to fail. Having a mining charter, making sure that everyone's objectives are actually met over time, that can just be a success for the country. And again, I believe that we sit with our government that can do all of this. And again, many counterparties need to work towards, just the sustainability of the future of South Africa.
It's interesting to note when you say sustainability, like one of the themes that we've picked up is a lot of our mining companies in South Africa are working towards subsidizing or bringing in alternative form of energy just around managing their electricity bill. I think currently at the moment, I think we had a bit of a scare at the beginning of the year around electricity. That seems to have subsided for now. But I think on the back of that, it's interesting that a lot of companies are talking about, putting in a solar plant to subsidize their energy bill.
Yeah, renewable energy is clearly a big discussion point. I think in all of the results presentations, in all of the strategies of any of the companies that we are talking to and obviously have relationships with. Again, there, I think it will be a balance, of, existing electricity options that's out there. But we've picked up, from a gas to power and a coal to power, as well as solar, wind, etc. All of that is very important for our mining companies to actually ensure that they relook all the options, make sure the prices they pay for these various options fit into their financial strategies in order to make sure that they survive in the long term as well. It doesn't help that they've got very good commodities sitting there as a reserve, but the cost to actually extract any of those is just astronomically high. Sanity must prevail in the way that we look at, for example, the electricity costs, the increases from one year to another, and alternatives will absolutely become important, for the mining entities and how they survive going forward.
I think, there is a lot of positivity within South Africa. I think one of them is, we are a market leader when it comes to environmental legislation. The theme I've seen in my time, within the mining space is I'm seeing a lot more African countries pretty much piggyback from South Africa's current environmental laws legislation. So we are seeing countries putting in guarantee and rehab requirements for these large mining projects. And I think, sometimes we tend to always look at this is wrong, but there is a lot of positivity which we're actually exporting, from this country.
from an Absa point of view, I think we're very positive about the future of mining, the future of oil and gas, not just for South Africa, but definitely for Africa. Many of our African countries have got so much potential when it comes to natural resources, and it's our ambition to help those economies grow and assist them where we could possibly do it, from a financial assistance point of view, making sure that we look after, for example, the economies or the ecosystems, around those mines or the oil and gas industries. And for me, really looking forward to a 2020 where we can build, more on what we've done in the past.
So is gold 1.7 for 2020?
We're on 1.5 to 1. So maybe just concluding comments from your side, Tawanda?
From my side, I think I'm in a very positive space just around in terms of what my thoughts. I think I echo your sentiments in terms. I think the year ahead is going to have its challenges. Let us never forget that our industry is very cyclical, and I think in the good times, let's bank what we can, return capital back to shareholders, but also let's be prudent and prepare for the uncertain times. So never forget that. I think the ultimate responsibility for a board really is free cash flow protection.